Hey everyone, Hamid here and welcome. Today let's talk about something that pretty much runs our entire lives, but we barely even notice it. The power of choice. You know, we tend to fixate on the massive, life-altering decisions, don't we? The career change, moving to a totally new city, who we're gonna marry. We put so much weight on these moments, thinking they're the only things that matter. But what if I told you the person you're becoming isn't really built in those big earthquake moments? What if it's being built in the quiet, tiny, almost invisible choices you make every single day? That's what we're gonna dive into.
So let me ask you a question, and I want you to be really honest with yourself. Have you ever just stood there, maybe in a grocery store aisle or scrolling on your phone, and you just felt completely frozen? That feeling of, I have no idea what to pick? Maybe it's a huge thing, a life decision that's keeping you up at night. But maybe it's as simple as trying to pick a movie and you spend the next 45 minutes scrolling until it's just too late to watch anything at all. I have been there so many times. It's this paralysis by possibility, and believe me, it is real. And it seems to be happening more and more.
And that, right there, that's the core idea we really need to get our heads around. We get so caught up in the big, flashy milestones, the graduation, the promotion, the wedding day, as if those are the only things that define who we are. But the truth is, the person we are becoming is forged in these small, quiet, daily decisions. Think of it like this. Your future is a giant wall you're building. Yeah, the big decisions are the cornerstones. They're important for sure. But the wall itself, that's built brick by tiny brick. The choice to eat something healthy for breakfast, that's a brick. The choice to pick up a book instead of your phone, that's another brick. Deciding to go for a walk or just stay on the couch, yep, that's a brick too. And they all add up day after day, building the entire structure of your life. Now, this whole struggle with choice, it's not new, not by a long shot. For literally centuries, philosophers have been wrestling with this exact idea of freedom and what it means to choose. They understood that our identity isn't some fixed destiny that's just handed to us. It's something we are actively building one decision at a time. So before we get into our modern day chaos, let's just rewind a little bit and look at a couple of powerful ideas from the past, because honestly, they are more relevant now than ever. First up, let's go way back to ancient Greece with Socrates. The unexamined life is not worth living. Man, that one still hits hard, doesn't it? What he's really saying is that if we're just floating through life on autopilot, just reacting to whatever comes our way, and we never stop to ask why we're doing what we're doing, well then, life is just happening to us. We're not actually living it. In this examination he talks about, it isn't some boring homework assignment. It's just about hitting pause for a second and asking yourself, why am I doing this? Is this truly what I want? Or is it just what's easy or what someone else wants for me? That little moment of reflection, that's everything. That's how you take back control. All right, let's jump forward a couple thousand years to a much more intense take from the philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre. He famously said, "We are condemned to be free." It sounds heavy, right? Condemned? Freedom is supposed to be amazing, so how can we be condemned to it? Well, what he was getting at is that we can never, ever escape the act of choosing. Think about it. Even when you decide not to decide, procrastinating on something important or letting your friend pick the restaurant or staying quiet in a meeting when you should speak up, that is still a choice. And you are 100% responsible for the outcome of that non-choice. There's no hiding. Now, Sartre knew this was both totally terrifying and incredibly empowering. It's scary because, well, it means we have no one else to blame for how our lives turn out, but it's also empowering for the exact same reason, because it means we are the architects. Like it or not, you're in the driver's seat. So if philosophers were dealing with the weight of choice all those years ago, what happens when you take their ideas and drop them into our world right now? Because what used to be a deep philosophical problem has now become, I think, a full-blown modern crisis. We live in this age of just infinite options, an endless scroll of possibilities for everything. And the great irony is that having all this choice isn't making us freer or happier. For a lot of us, it's doing the exact opposite. And there's actually a name for this feeling. Psychologists call it choice overload. It's that state where your brain is presented with so many options that it just short circuits, it shuts down. And this leads to a few things. First, paralysis. You just can't pick anything. Then comes this low-grade anxiety, that little voice asking, what if I pick the wrong one? And then, even after you finally make a choice, you get that lingering regret, wondering if one of the other options might have been a little bit better. Sound familiar? Yeah. I mean, we see this stuff everywhere. Should you work remote or go into the office? That's not just about location. It's a choice about your whole lifestyle.
In finance, do you jump into something new and volatile like crypto, or do you play it safe? That's a choice between two completely different philosophies. Career, do you build your own thing from scratch, or do you find the security of a steady job? And heck, even in our social lives, just deciding which online group or group chat to actually invest your time in can feel like this huge, monumental decision. The sheer number of choices is just exhausting. So what do we do about it? I mean, we can't just eliminate choice from our lives, that's impossible. But we can get a lot better and a lot more intentional about how we make them. And this is where philosophy stops being some abstract idea and becomes a real, practical, everyday tool. So I want to share a simple 4-part framework with you. It's rooted in all this ancient wisdom, and it's something I personally use to cut through the noise and make choices that feel, right for me. Okay, let's break this down. Step 1 is Socratic questioning. Before you make any big choice, just pause and ask yourself, why am I really doing this? Is this for my own genuine growth, or am I just trying to please someone else, or maybe just follow a trend I saw online? Being brutally honest here is a total game changer. Step 2 is Aristotle's balance. He called this the golden mean. Instead of swinging from one extreme to the other, like working 100 hours a week versus doing absolutely nothing, you look for the sustainable middle path, the choice you can actually stick with for the long haul. It's about consistency over intensity. Step 3, Stoic control. This one is huge. You basically draw a circle around yourself. Inside that circle are the things you can actually control: your attitude, your effort, your mindset. Outside the circle is everything else: the economy, what other people think of you, the final outcome. Your only job is to pour your energy into what's inside your circle and practice letting go of the rest. And finally, step 4, Sartre's responsibility. This is what ties it all together. Once you've used these tools to make a choice, you own it. 100%. No excuses, no blaming, no what ifs. This whole framework, it shifts you from feeling like a victim of your life to being the author of it. So you see, these aren't just ideas from a dusty old textbook. They're actual tools for building a better life, and you can start right now. I know in my own journey applying this way of thinking, it's not about being perfect. Far from it. It's about building a practice of being intentional. Choosing to learn something for just 15 minutes a day. Choosing to go for a walk to take care of my health. Choosing who gets my time and energy. These small, conscious decisions have compounded over time and completely shaped my mindset. They've opened doors I never would have even seen before.
And that brings me to a really simple challenge for you. Don't try to change your entire life in one day. That's just setting yourself up with another overwhelming choice. Instead, just focus on one thing. Today, using this kind of thinking, just make one small, conscious choice. That's it. Just one. You don't climb a mountain in a single leap. You do it one deliberate step at a time. So let's just focus on that next step. And what could that look like? Well, it could be as simple as setting your alarm just 10 minutes earlier. Not to rush around, but just to have a quiet moment for yourself before the day kicks off. That one choice gives you clarity. Or maybe it's the choice to consciously close a social media app when you feel yourself mindlessly scrolling, and instead read just 2 pages of a book. That choice feeds your mind instead of your anxiety. It could even be just sending a quick text to someone you care about to strengthen that connection. These tiny drops of intention, they're what create the entire river of your life. So I'll leave you with this thought. The philosophy of choice isn't just about thinking deep thoughts. It's about acting deliberately. It's about recognizing that with every single small decision, you are casting a vote for the person you want to become. You are laying another brick in the wall of your future. So pay attention to those small moments. Because the choices you make today, they aren't just for today. They are already, right now, shaping the person you will be tomorrow.